And welcome back to IEMG, another league champion here this winter season for boys soccer. This time, for the first time in the Citrus Belt League, the Cajon Cowboys. We got the Cowboys in the house. They got a really big team, and I feel like everybody's here in studio with us for this one. We got Coach Lara and a bunch of his star players as well. And Coach, you know, we talked about Cajon. They've had some good soccer teams in the past. Absolutely. They've won league titles, but never in the CBL. What did it mean to the program to win a Citrus Belt League title this year?
Obviously, I've been in the program for 8 years now. This is my second year as the head coach. So we have been working towards where we are now, so it means a lot. It means a lot to the program. It means a lot to the school. It means a lot to these guys and myself, because I've seen it when I started. I seen where we were and how we've been developing and what we've built so far. So I feel like we've been there so close,
yeah,
but we couldn't make the jump. So this year the guys stepped up. The team we matured a lot, and we got the job done finally.
You know, we've talked a couple times over the course of the last couple seasons, and we talked about how close this team was to that CBL championship. And there's some good programs in the CBL. What do you think it was different this year? What was special about this year's team to kind of get over that hump, you think?
We use a lot of past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the year before this one, we lost league by a point or two that had nothing to do with the top three teams. We were probably the only team that gave one of the bottom teams a tie, mm-hmm. and that tie really was a 2-point difference or 1-point difference from winning co-champions, and that threw us off. In the past years, it's been like that. The games that really shouldn't determine the winning league have been causing us league. So this year we talked about it, learned about experiences. Most of these guys, I think all of these guys have been there for the last couple of years, so they lived it, and it was just reminders of what happened in the years past, to not let it happen again. And the guys stepped up. They took care of business from the beginning. I think the whole first round we won all of our games. So obviously we had a few hiccups at the end, but it was already, we had built enough cushion to take league already.
Mm-hmm. Coach, too, also just the state of the program where it's at right now. You guys were Division I.
Yes.
You know, for the CIF Southern Section playoffs, you were a Division I team. I think you were ranked in the top 10 at one point. I mean, where do you think the program is right now? It feels like you guys, maybe it's never been better, at least in terms of, you know, being Division I, a Citrus Belt League title. It's at a high level right now. Absolutely.
I think it goes with the years. Like I said, everybody leaves something behind. I talked to these seniors that are here with me. They put Cajon boys soccer in the map, mm-hmm. and it starts with the other guys that left a few years back. How the program's been developing, everybody's putting in something for the next guy, and I always talk to the guys, though, don't wait for your senior year.
Yeah.
If you're a freshman, sophomore, go for everything right now, and that's how you're going to be building and progressing. But the program right now, I mean, I couldn't be happier with the program. The boys that are here, the boys that are staying, and the boys that are coming in. I'm very happy and excited and ready for what's coming already.
Yeah, man, you guys are in a good spot right now. So listen, I'm going to ask you guys all almost the same question. It's going to be very similar. It's going to be, what's a favorite moment from this year? What are you going to remember about this season? Was there something that stood out to you in terms of maybe it was a big goal that you scored, beating a certain team, a rivalry? What are you going to remember about this year? And I want all you guys to get a chance on the mic, so we're going to work our way around. I'll start here on the couch in the middle, Dede Zamora. Dede, you're one of the guys that'll be back next year for coach, but already, you know, as a sophomore, what was a special moment for you this year?
A special moment for me, it definitely has to be beating Montclair in the Norte Vista final.
Yeah.
We were down at halftime. I think it was 1-0. And we all knew, like, we had to change up or else it wouldn't work. And then we changed and we ended up winning 3-2.
Do you feel like maybe coming off that tournament at Norte Vista, that kind of maybe build some confidence in this team? Like, hey, yeah, we're pretty good. We need to go out there and win some games.
Yeah, it definitely did before season. We were all confident because Montclair is obviously a high team.
Yeah.
Like, Montclair is not easy. So we knew what we were capable of,
mm-hmm.
and that's how we went into league confident.
Yeah, that's a good tournament at Novi. Dede, let's pass the microphone to your right, Benicio Verduzco, screen left, and Benicio, same thing. Like, when you look back on this league championship season, what are you going to remember?
One of the most memorable moments for me was our first round of CIF, beating Long Beach Poly. We were down at half again, and we ended up coming back and clutching up and taking the win against that team. And I think it sent us I mean, not sent us, but it gave us a lot. It was a real confidence booster for us. It was a big moment for us.
Did you guys do that a lot this season? Do you find yourself like trailing late in a match and you had to find a way to come back?
Sometimes we're a second half team, but we always found a way to pull through.
Well, let's pass the microphone now to the middle row here with the chairs right there. Yeah, left chair, Angel Espuro. Angel, what will you remember? Was there a goal, a play, a victory? Maybe it was something off the field. Maybe it was just having a good time like on the road trips. I mean, what do you remember about this year?
For me, it was against Ukaipa, their senior night. You know, they were coming off a big game. For us, we win that game, we win CBL. So that right there was enough for us to pull through, especially since, you know, someone got a red card early in the match. Really
He's
early.
looking down at you, by the way.
And we just decided to keep going, and we managed to score a couple more and just...
And you guys knew what was on the line, right? You guys have come so close for so many years, and then you knew what you guys had to do, right?
Yes, it was very difficult, but we pushed through.
You guys did it. Let's go to the middle here now, Manny Peralta. And I don't know if it's that Ukaipa game when you guys actually clinched that league championship, but what will you remember about this season?
I feel like something I remember about the season was scoring a banger against Beaumont. I think it was like 25 yards out. I didn't realize I scored. I didn't know I scored. And then everybody started celebrating, so that's something I'm gonna remember from this season.
You just didn't have a good look at the net, or you closed your eyes?
The ball went in. It went up the top corner on the left, and to me it didn't look like it went in. And I'm looking at the ball. I'm like, is it behind the goal or is it in the goal? Yeah.
Is there video of it somewhere?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. So it did happen.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go here on the end right here. Antonio Sanchez and Antonio. What's the same thing? I mean, first off, I should mention you guys all have already the CBL championship gear on. Antonio's got the T-shirt on. You guys got jackets on. It all looks great. Antonio, what are you going to remember about the CBL title this year?
One thing I'll remember is as a center back having the least goals conceded against all league.
And that's important. I mean, you guys can score a ton of goals, but unless the keeper and that back line's doing their job, right? Like, how good was the defense, you feel like, this year?
Really strong. It was really composed. We had a good chemistry. We knew how to play from the back and then make plays off, have possible chances of goal scoring.
Yeah, that defense was huge this year for you guys. Let's pass the microphone now to the final back row, Sammy Donis. Sammy, again, what are you going to remember about this season, man? There was a lot of big wins along the way.
My most memorable moment of this season was beating Rev, our first game, after them dancing on us last year at our home game for them winning their CBL. So we kind of took it back from them.
That's a rivalry, right? You guys in Rev now?
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Again, great programs in the CBL, and you guys in Rev. That's a rivalry now. Let's go to the middle. Andy Saldana. Andy, what are you gonna remember about this year, man?
My favorite moment was winning against Montclair in the final. I believe we were down at halftime, and then we managed to pull it off at the end.
What did Coach say at halftime? Did he give you some inspiring words so you guys would play great in the second half? What happened?
Yeah, he told us we were a second half team. He gave us a speech. I forgot what exactly, but.
Is that true, Coach? Were you guys a second half team for most of the year?
A lot of pointers on halftime speech, but I mean, they obviously they listened because it worked.
And finally, the microphone on the very end here, Pablo Rodriguez and Pablo. Again, what was a memory that you made this season that you'd like to share?
Yeah, one of my most memorable moments was definitely winning Ukaipa at their senior night game. We won them 4-0, I believe. And, yeah, just the celebration after the game was all for us.
Yeah, man, clinching that CBL championship. CBL has a history of great boys soccer, so to lock up that first one for Cajon's a big deal. Coach, let me come back to you as we wrap things up here. Several of these guys have talked about being a second half team. I know as a coach it's probably stressful, but also probably you never feel like you're out of a game, right? You might be a goal or two down, but you feel like, hey, we've got enough talent. We've been here before. We can pull out of this. Is that safe to say?
Yes, it goes with the experience that these guys have. Obviously, me and my assistants, we do a good job talking about certain things that we each see differently on the field, and we have a little pep talk before we talk to the boys. We point out a few things, good and bad, and we try to fix it. But they do a great job. They do a great job listening, sticking to the plan, and adjusting as we need to. But yeah, I mean the guys are great. A lot of our games we finished them early first half, but when we had to do the second half comeback, they responded well, and they showed why they're champions.
Absolutely. Raise your hand if you're a senior this season. So, Coach, a lot of seniors, but you got a couple guys coming back. How does the future look for Cajon?
The future looks really good. It looks really good. Obviously, we got the Day and Angel coming back, but we have a lot of great young kids already lined up, ready to at moments during the league. We would give them minutes to take over the role for next year, and they did great. So we had really great depth on the team, and I mean, just a shout out to our JV program. Also went undefeated pretty much. I think they won also league on JV. So we have a lot of good kids coming out of the program. So it's a program that we've been building, and I point out everything that I see from the young kids coming up and the guys leaving. So we're already planning on who's replacing who and how we're going to move pieces to adjust to what we have. And hoping that obviously these guys develop over the summer. They do a great job playing in club, whatever sport, whatever team they play with. So they develop really well. They come back ready to go, and off we go again.
Try to do it all over again, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, guys, congratulations. Thank you for coming down to the studio. We really appreciate it. And Citrus Belt League champions for the first time in Cajon history. Congratulations, Coach.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
All right, that's the Cajon Cowboys here on our Winter League Champion Show. We'll be right back with more from IEMG.